Have you ever seen a mountain that doesn't touch the ground? Yeti Bob hadn't. Not until that day, when the horizon split open and the cliffs began to float. Clouds coiled around them like ribbons of silver mist, and above, vast shapes drifted through the air. Serpents of the sky, their scales glimmering like shards of sunlight. Enormous bird-like cryptids circled the floating cliffs, their wings casting shadows over the desert below. Yeti Bob could only stare, mouth open, eyes wide with awe. The desert stretched beneath him, but above, a whole new world waited. A sky kingdom, ancient and untouched. The wind howled as the group climbed the jagged pathway leading upward. Yeti Bob, panting, grinned at the fox trotting beside him. "Almost there, buddy. Just a few thousand more steps." Kira, already at the top, shouted down, "Yeti Bob, hurry! You're not going to believe this." When Yeti Bob reached the summit, his breath caught. The cliffs didn't rest on the clouds. They floated. Massive, gravity-defying platforms, drifting gently, connected only by narrow bridges of mist. Cryptids with wings of translucent feathers glided gracefully between them. They looked down at Bob and his friends, curious but cold. One, a sleek avian elder with eyes like lightning, leaned close to another and whispered, "Ground dwellers, clumsy things, they'll never survive up here." Yeti Bob grinned. "We'll see about that." He rummaged through his pack, pulling out an assortment of umbrellas, tarp, and rope. Kira blinked. "You're not seriously—" "Oh, I'm seriously," Yeti Bob said, fastening the umbrellas to his arms like makeshift wings. A gentle breeze blew past, ruffling his hair. He stood tall on the edge of a cloud bridge. "Watch and learn." He leaped. For a glorious half-second, he soared, arms outstretched, umbrella wings flapping. Then the wind shifted. One umbrella inverted, the other flew off entirely, and Yeti Bob plummeted. "Not good! Not good!" he screamed, spiraling downward through a flock of startled sky serpents. He landed in a puff of cloud mist, tumbled off a ledge, and, miraculously, fell straight into a passing hay cart below. The cart bounced, hay flew everywhere, and Yeti Bob popped up grinning like an idiot. "Well," he said, pulling a stalk from his mouth, "at least I stuck the landing." Above, the sky cryptids stared in stunned silence, their expressions a mix of confusion, and maybe just a hint of admiration. The elder muttered, "He fell like a rock," and laughs like thunder. And in that moment, the walls between them cracked just a little. Later that night, the floating cliffs glowed faintly beneath the moonlight. The air shimmered with soft blue light, the hum of cryptid wings echoing like distant music. The fox wandered off on its own, curious as ever. Near a pool of liquid sky, a reflective pond suspended in midair, it found a small creature crying softly. A winged cryptid pup, feathers tangled and wing bent. The fox approached gently, tail wagging. It offered a bit of food from Yeti Bob's pack. The pup sniffed, then smiled. Moments later, they were playing together, chasing, tumbling, laughing in their own way. The elder cryptids watched from afar, their sharp eyes softening. "Perhaps," one murmured, "not all groundwalkers are blind." By morning, the pup perched happily on Bob's shoulder, chirping excitedly as the team explored the cliffs. The others bowed their heads slightly when Bob passed, a small, silent gesture of respect. As the sun dipped behind the floating cliffs, the sky turned blood orange. The elder cryptids gathered on a high ledge, their wings spread wide, casting long shadows across the clouds. Yeti Bob stood before them. "We didn't come to trespass. We came to learn, maybe even help." The lead elder, his feathers streaked with silver lightning, studied Bob carefully. At last, he spoke. "You have heart, ground dweller. Even when you fall, you rise laughing. That is rare." Then his tone darkened. "But know this. Storms gather on the horizon. The hunters climb higher than you think. Bob frowned. The hunters? You mean they're coming for the sky itself? Thunder rumbled in the distance. A storm front loomed, black and swirling far beyond the floating cliffs. Bob looked out at it, the wind tugging at his hair. Then we'd better start climbing too. As the team descended the cliffs, the cryptids soared above them, silent sentinels of the skies. The little pup fluttered beside the fox, chirping goodbye before darting back into the clouds. Bob glanced up, smiling. Guess even the sky has secrets. The wind picked up. The floating cliffs drifted slowly apart, vanishing into the mist like islands fading into a dream. Music swells. The clouds glow one last time, and then fade to black. If you're ready to chase what waits beyond the clouds, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for the next ascent.